Ready? Hey, nice, what a cracking view. Look at those mountains, they go all the way to the horizon. Just brilliant.
Mountains? You serious? Those are mountains?
Yeah?
You've got to be kidding me, Dave. Those are nice, but that's not a mountain. You've got to come to the Himalayas with me.
The Himalayas?
Yep, those are mountains.
Hey, Nugget.
Hey, boss.
Mate, we're heading to the Himalayas.
Himalayas? Where's that?
And so it was, a chance meeting in the forests of Australia had led me to the spectacular Himalayan mountains in northern India. This is the story of two Indian countrymen, motorcycle adventurers in their own right, who proudly introduced us to their magnificent country, its people and its culture. The scenery is breathtaking, but we found so much more to this land of extremes. The experience was profound, and I would never look at the world in the same way again. And this is the power and privilege of motorcycle adventure, discovering things about the world that you never knew, and gaining insight into the world that others will never have. Our journey starts in Delhi, a city crammed with 20 million people, where pollution makes it a struggle to breathe. Our senses are smashed with a cacophony of sights, sounds, smells and crazy traffic. For Nosh, our visit to Delhi is compulsory. As he says, you can't begin to understand India without experiencing this crazy place.
I'll palm him off, don't worry.
I've brought along two riding companions, Nugget the pie thrower from Narrabeen and Stefan, who I call my adopted son, from Hamburg, Germany. I've ridden thousands of kilometres with both of these guys. They are great riding companions.
Well, the Himalayan plan is coming together. We're all joined now. We've made it. Stefan's just arrived. It's 10 o'clock. Hope to pick up the bikes around 12ish and then start heading north. That's the plan. Let's see how we go.
I'm doing alright. I've only known Stefan 10 minutes. I got my arm around him already. So, yeah.
This is not Brokeback Himalayas. No Brokeback Himalayas in this trip, please.
There you go. High five! Oh, she's gone. She's gone. Typical woman takes my money.
And runs.
Runs.
What's your first impressions, gentlemen?
This is the village, you know.
I feel really overweight. Everyone's really skinny.
It's overwhelming.
Overwhelming. The smells. It's about 20 different smells in about 1 minute.
I think that's me.
Oh, is it? I don't think so.
Our next job was to pick up our bike rentals. It's a modest selection to say the least, and there's no flash adventure mounts on this trip.
Oh, wherever you pull out, that's what you got. KDM, come on, Steph, what do you got?
No, that's all right. No, I seriously swap you. No, I'm happy. I'm seriously swap.
Pulsar, and that means
We would quickly find the luck of the draw would become pretty important, and one poor bastard would select an absolute lemon.
Bikes have been chosen.
So we got here the Öhlins suspension. No,
Yeah.
Just joking.
The bike itself, I think it's a 180cc, and we've just gone for a little test drive on it. It goes really well. Nugget, what's going on?
Well, they give me this.
You got a KDM. You should be laughing.
8 litre tank. I should get about 150 k's the way I ride.
Yeah.
And the seat is like a brute.
Hey, nice. Okay, you've got the Impulse.
Yes, 150cc of raw power.
Weaving through the crazy traffic that is Delhi was full on, but keeping together was a scary challenge. If we got lost, there was no plan B.
This is absolutely crazy.
Our plan? To head to Chandigarh at the base of the Himalayas and meet up with Ashish, our 5th rider.
So what's happened? You had a...
Early in the night, Nosh gets stung with a flat tyre, and 20 minutes after this repair, we find ourselves on the side of the road again. This time, Nosh's bike has more serious problems.
Been a big day for Nugget. Looks like he's standing up having sex with his Great Basin.
Fortunately, Ashish comes to the rescue, and we make Chandigarh in the late evening.
We have our friend Ashish here.
Hey. Welcome.
The rescuer last night. He's got his ute and helped get the bike in the back of it and ship it here. And
The adventure began right away.
right away. Well, but now we've got to pray to this friend here.
Ah, Ganesh.
He removes all obstacles.
Ganesh, I've touched him on the trunk today.
That's good.
Nugget, we're slumming it in India.
Yeah, top shelf. We're here at a Airbnb place. It's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, Nosh has done really well with the first bit of accommodation. It's bloody 5-star. But what he said to me is as the view gets better, the accommodation gets poorer. What are you up to, Nugget?
I'm actually taking off this. I've got my sheepskin on, but it's absolutely rock hard, the old KTM race seat. So I don't know if I should say this on the film, but yeah, I'm going to take it in and get a cushion sewed on top. So
You are losing your credibility, mate.
quick smart, I
Big time. Big
99 kilos. Okay. कितना टाइम लगेगा भाई जी कितना है
15 minutes लगेंगे.
Here you go, judgment time. Ah, hey, he's got a soft bum.
Beautiful.
Million dollar smile.
Nosh, what's going on?
The impulse is dead again.
It's dead again.
Yep.
That's like a rise, like Dracula, is it? It can rise and die. It's dead again.
It's impulse. Yeah, so we're just putting it on Ashish's truck.
And
He's very kindly loaned me his wife's bike, so I've got his wife to thank as well.
Yeah, actually, I didn't run that past her.
oh,
Maybe we should ask her before I loan it back to you.
Got a little bit of a secret here. Dave's been quick to give it to everyone all day. So we spent all day fixing bikes.
it's going to be very difficult getting up the Himalayas. Look at it.
This is supposed to be petrol in the bike.
The boys kept saying to me, drain the water out and drain the fuel out. And what we're doing is draining the water out. There's a bucket load of water in this.
So you guess we had yesterday already the problem when we picked up the bikes.
Yeah, same deal. I mean, they're just not being well cared for. But anyway, this is what makes adventure. You can't just go on your bike and fill it up with petrol. You've got to have some shit before you have watermelon.
We left our first accommodation in India with a very strong impression India's middle class was moving up and out in a big way. India is a country undergoing huge social change. The population of the middle class has already reached 267 million and is set to double in the next 10 years. We were heading into the foothills of the Himalayas and our goal for the day was to reach Shimla. Shimla is the capital of the northern Indian state of Himachal Pradesh and in the 1800s was declared the summer capital of British India due to its temperate climate and cool forests.
So Shimla used to be the British administrative capital in the summer months. They moved everything down from the plains in Delhi up to Shimla. When I say everything, it was the entire administration moved up with files in boxes, and there were hundreds and thousands of files. Everything moves up to Shimla for 6 months and then back down to Delhi in the winter months when Shimla was snowed in. Excess. absolute excess. The British Raj.
I'm pussy.
I don't know.
Bloody spicy.
It's only got a couple of chilies in it. This is we're big hairy bikers. See? We eat chili. That's what happens.
It burns twice.
What do you mean?
This is called eat today and feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ate today and feel tomorrow.
You're gonna feel it twice. Yeah.
In search of a cushion, Nosh. You're welcome to the KTM family.
No, it's Nugget's butt that's hurting, not mine.
Ah, his butt's hurting again.
Slide it down for $1.50.
He's got the same solution my dad
Have
had.
a look at it.
The Dolphin Intelligent Generation foam.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, is that it, is it? Pimp your ride. Ashish, what's going on?
Well, this is a Baba from India,
Yeah.
and he's reading this guy's hand and telling him his future.
What's he saying?
Well, let me try to translate because he's not speaking the language I completely
That's
understand.
right.
He's saying he's got a very sharp mind. And he's saying that Shiva's gonna bless him and he's gonna do very well in life. These guys, Babas, are Shiva's devotees, and that's why they keep saying Bholenath, which is another name for Shiva.
All right.
Jai Bholenath, that's what,
Ah,
that's what it means. Bholenath is another name for Shiva.
all right.
And he's telling you that you shall be happy for the rest of your life.
Ah, thank you.
He's blessed you with happiness for the rest of your life.
Good to have you guys along. You're opening up India for us, helping us understand.
It's our pleasure.
Following an overnight stay in Shimla, we set out early in the morning for Manali. Ashish and Nosh promised us that we would hit the dirt after lunch on a stunning trail they had ridden in a motorcycle rally the previous year.
Thank you. That'll be 100 rupees.
100 rupees. Fantastic riding, Nosh. Just absolutely beautiful country. Altitude already, we went over a pass at
4,200, that's right.
Which is 16,000 feet-ish, isn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
Felt a little bit breathless, but you're just coming up and then down, so it's fine. Yeah. It's going well. Nosh, what are you feeding us? What are we going to have?
Having dal, sabji and chapati.
Aha.
And that's the tandoor. That's like a barbecue.
Tender.
Oh, like an oven.
Yeah, it is an oven.
Pizza oven, yeah.
No, see, he sticks them on the... There he goes, he's hooking out his chapati. Tandoori roti.
See the mountain range.
That's dal, I think.
Yeah, it's dal. And this one's called sabji. It's hot
Sabji.
as well.
This is a little bit.
You're not going to cry on us again. The crying German, we're going to call him. The crying German.
That doesn't sound right, the crying German.
No way. I like the German pussy better.
You are my Australian wombat.
He kind of looks like a wombat. I agree with you there. He is stocky.
You're the wombat. It's like my uncle explained to me what a wombat is.
Yeah.
Small legs and the rest of the body is muscle.
You're the banker, so you've had to feed 5 starving men. How'd you go?
And some tea.
And some tea.
Everyone's had their fair share of food.
Yes.
Say everyone's filled.
Yeah,
400 rupees works out to $8.
$8. Beautiful food. So time for us to go. Now that's the easy way. You can see up to that pass. We're not going on that way. Ashish and Nosh have something special for us. Dizzying heights. Nugget's got another friend.
Making mates wherever I go. You want to have a ride on his bike?
Hey, get away.
You want to have a ride on
No,
his bike?
shut up.
You. Oh, that. Oh, you go crazy. Whoa! Mate, that would catch on fire.
Oh, well.
Yeah, here, no way.
Yeah.
Where are the boys? Hang on. So one man, not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Okay, we'll go back.
Shit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Come here.
Yeah, what do we do, eh?
Let's go. We'll have
We
to
got
go
one
back.
down.
All right, let's
Should
go.
we take the medicine man with us?
I don't think so. Ah, Stefan. What's happened? So you look very pale. Have you done any injury to your chest?
Yeah, Stefan's gone down onto his shoulder and broken his collarbone. We saw it protruding up. It's not sticking out, but it's protruding through the right to the skin and making a big indent. This stuff here is very unforgiving, this cobblestone, and very slippery. Dave and Nosh have fixed him up. As you can see, it's caused a bit of commotion here with the accidents, but locals are really happy to help out and been really obliging, which is really good. It's a bit sad, I've only known you for 2 days and we're going to split already.
Well, we're taking Stefan out of the Himalayas with his broken collarbone. This road is very interesting at night. I'm looking down into the valley. It's like we're in an aeroplane. Must be, I don't know, at least a couple of 1,000 feet below. I can see lights. I'm pretty upset that this has happened to Stefan, but I suppose it could have been a lot worse.
Mate, it was ridiculous. I don't know why we just did it. We just risked life and limb coming down that road for a broken collarbone that's already broken. Mate, that road's dangerous enough in the daylight, let alone at night time. Mate, I come around a corner, there was a front end loader, backhoe coming at me with no lights on. There was a herd of cattle in the middle of the road. There was bricks this big. We did not pass one motorcycle. What does that tell you? Like, mate, because it's freaking suicidal.
I'm not riding in India at night again.
Mate, that was
I'm not going to do it. I'd rather sleep on the side.
That's the most insane 50 kilometres I've ever done on a
I
motorcycle.
nearly ran over a man.
That is 4 times dangerouser than racing thing, I can tell you that, mate.
4 times dangerous.
Little German pussy.
Sorry.
What have you seen?
Small break, but something a lot. The break here.
Yeah.
There's the break. Another break, but break up here. So
Hang on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 breaks.
But I've seen something a bit more serious.
What?
There's no heart.
It's not hard.
Leave now because it's a 12-hour drive and my plane is leaving in 12 hours. So.
Yeah, you got to get going.
Yeah. Another hero.
See you, mate. Take care.
Thanks.
See you in Australia in January.
Just shit happens sometimes.
Shit happens. That's adventure riding.
Since we arrived in India, we've been plagued with bike problems, and then yesterday Stefan broke his collarbone. The Indian boys feel that if we want to put our bad luck behind us, we will need to pay homage to the mountain goddess Kali Mata. Our challenge now is to find her temple.
Imagine them slipping down the mountainside. he hit him. He hit the...
He's got no tail light.
Nugget, I saw that. I'm giving you a ticket for negligent driving. You ran up that truck driver's ass.
I never touched him.
I think there's a lesson in that for all of us. You know, normally we're in really dense traffic and you know, you just got to have 120% concentration and you know, there's no traffic at the moment. Nugget was just relaxing, I think, and
Not a problem, I never touched him.
you did!
I never touched him.
Mate, I saw the stopping. Stop bullshit, it's on tape!
The Indian boys are trying to find this temple. It's a female temple. What is the name of the goddess? Kali. Kali. Goddess is called Kali. 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 Kali.
That Kali Mata.
Kali Mata.
Kali Mata's temple.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Kali Mata. Here somewhere?
One temple goes in this road also.
This road takes you to Kali Mata.
Yes, you can go straight and two roads comes there.
Yes.
And you take right one.
Second
and,
road right?
Yes, and then go downwards and go straight only. You will find that temple.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We go and tell the Indian boys.
We've already got this.
Thank you very much.
You want to get a double? You want to come with this?
Boys! Hey, you Indian boys, we've worked it out. We know where it is. We're not going to tell you, we're going to take you there.
Sure.
We are so confident. Come on.
Okay, Nugget, so we're going to lay all our bets on the table. The Indian guys couldn't find this. The Aussies have got this. So we're going to go down here, second on the right.
Oh, hang on. Aussie intuition. Second on the right, straight through.
Straight through, and we'll find the goddess.
All right.
All right,
Righto.
let's see how we go. And if we're stuffed up, we won't put this on video. Oh God, I hope we're right on this. Oh, here it is. Here's the temple.
ये जो मंदिर है
हाँ जी
ये कौन
ज्वाला माता का
ज्वाला माता का
हाँ
मंदिर
जी
है और भीमा माता का भीमा काली
इससे जाएंगे फिर नीचे को
नीचे
हाँ
अच्छा
काफी देर नीचे जाके पूछ लो है ना
अच्छा
हाँ यही जाएगा
जी
ये ज्वाला माता का
Thank you.
ये मैं पूना से आया हूँ
अच्छा जी
और ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया से आया
अच्छा
Hello, how are you? From Australia.
थैंक यू धन्यवाद
We had the wrong god,
yeah there's like a million gods in India
right?
so this is of a goddess called Jwala Mata. Jwala means fire. The lady just told us to go further down because we want to get to Bhima Kali Mandir. It's mountain of the gods. And since we're heading into the mountains, that's where we want to go.
So I guess Nugget was lucky that if he would have run in the back of that truck, he may have needed the god of fire to put his bike out.
I was just compressing the traffic, and I must thank the goddess of Kali because I've never been much good with women, but obviously she knows I'm coming.
Well, you know, Kali is also a demanding goddess. She demands sacrifices, and
So
you
this is
reckon
it?
that Stefan could have been the sacrifice.
Yes, well I hope so. That's a safe sacrifice.
I was just thinking back there. Yeah, she's a demanding goddess. Look, around these parts, even though there are a million Indian gods, they worship goddesses, and this is one of the main goddesses, named Kali. She's also considered the goddess of death, but you got to get her permission around here to do anything. So I guess we've already had enough of a run of bad luck, and we need her on our side. Yep, I think that's good enough reason to wake up early and come here. So when you enter the Kali temple, she's a black goddess. Kali means black, and people call her Kali Mata. So Kali is black and Mata is mother. She has a necklace of human skulls hanging around her. She's a pretty devastating looking goddess. But when you enter the temple, you first ring the bell. Every Hindu temple has a bell. Clears your thoughts, gets you into the temple sort of zone there, focuses your mind on what you need to do. You bow down to her, you say your prayers, you put in a little donation, helps the temple and the village area as well, because that's a form of income for them as well. And then you walk around the temple clockwise, always clockwise. And while you come back to your start, you slowly back away. Your back should not be towards the goddess or the idol.
There's another one.
With respectful homage paid to Kali Mata, we left the temple with a newfound optimism.
Holy cow, we're running the whole village. Bloody monkeys every god, they stink.
We spotted a troop of langur monkeys, a sign things were looking up.
Hello.
In Indian culture, Hanuman is the popular monkey god that leads a troop of monkeys to defeat an evil king and brings happiness to the kingdom. It's a new day, so hopefully happiness is heading our way. We need to make up time lost to reach Manali by nightfall.
It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way. It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way.
Hey Nugget, what have you found?
Mate, I found a couple of 3 Indian adventure riders, and they've got the Royal Enfield, the Himalayan. This is the bike I'm after. I've been chasing one of these since I got here. He doesn't want to swap for the KTM though, so we're in a bit of trouble. But he reckons where we're going we might be able to pick one up.
In Manali there is a road called Manali Nagar Road. Naggar.
Yep.
So you have all the bike rentals there.
Right
on that
there.
road, yeah.
His nickname is Nugget.
Nugget.
So Nugget. The Himalayas, yeah, have just come out in India a few months ago. Very popular. Got good suspension, a good engine, and are made for the job.
But most of all, good seat. Good seat. Hey, I was going to hijack it, but I thought about it. I'll toss him over. That's a beautiful bike. Whoever said Royal Enfields are a heap of junk, they're kidding themselves.
See the birds in the trees. Their songs inspire me to sing a sweet melody. How do they do it? Not a care and suffering. Wanna step into their world. Who holds the key? It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way. It's a brand new day. Gotta take it on my way. Gotta take it on my way.
Think we're gonna get wet, my friend?
Yeah, looks like something's coming down.
Starting to rain. Hey, nice, looks like a small waterfall. Sorry.
Yep. So what we have done is, normally people would just come up the Jalori Pass the normal way. We've gone a bit off and climbed a mountain through a village called Koti, which is a very, very technical trail. The thing about passes here is, you see there's a temple up here, and most of the passes will have a temple, because the passes used to be so dangerous back then that most of the people who passed through would stop, say a small prayer, get the blessings from Kali Ma. It's the same temple that we went to this morning, and then carry on, just so that she would keep us safe. Now you can see the first signs of snow up there. That's where we are heading, boys.
This had been our best day of adventure riding by far, and we celebrated with boiled eggs and noodles. Nosh wisely suggested an early evening meal, as we would ride well into the night to reach our destination, Manali. The KTM Dukes had been taken way past their design limits, and both Nugget and Nosh had their sights now set on changing their mounts to the new Enfield Himalayan adventure bike.
It's our accommodation, Nosh. Brilliant. No, he's getting a head job. Isn't he getting his fingers caught in your hair on your chest, or is it?
Ashish gave Nugget some advice on the subtleties of Indian bargaining before we headed into town in search of a pair of Enfield Himalayan adventure bikes for him and Nosh.
The thing you need to understand about the art of bargaining in India, okay?
Yeah.
Indians love bargaining. So these guys, when they see an Indian, the prices are already jacked up. When they see a tourist like you, they're going to hike it up even further. So the thing you got to do is, whatever price is being offered to you, you offer them 50% of the price, right? And you settle for something around 60%.
Yep.
That's
and
the
if
fair
they don't
price.
agree, just start walking away, and then they'll call you. Stop. Then you come back and
pay
buy it at
60%.
60% is generally whatever price we offer to you.
Nugget's ass has finally given way and he's getting on an Enfield Himalaya. What do you reckon, mate?
Nugget drove a hard bargain, and now he and Nosh would be riding Enfield Himalayans. Tomorrow we would set out into some serious altitude to the town of Sarchu at 4,200 metres, close to 14,000 feet. Succumbing to the potentially deadly altitude sickness was now in the back of our minds.
We are heading out of Manali towards Leh, heading up Rohtang Pass, that's at 3,800 meters, and we stop for the night at Sarchu, which is at 4,200 meters, halfway to Leh. So yeah, it's about 14,000-ish feet. So we'll feel the altitude tonight, and there might be some anxiety, there might be some headaches, there might be some nausea, and yeah, that's altitude for you.
Oh, this is a poor start to the morning. Can you imagine doing this at altitude?
Famous last words. Nosh had picked a lemon again, and for the rest of the trip we would be push-starting him in some of the most spectacular mountain scenery you could find. Finally, we were on our way to some serious altitude and adventure. Rohtang Pass loomed live in the distance, and the ant trails of cars led the way. The first overtaking manoeuvres on these roads kept your heart in your mouth, but the drivers are far more careful than in Delhi, as they know that one stuff up here will surely mean death.
The sign there says Indian Viagra, right? It's a Himalayan herb, and that's a local Viagra. Way before Viagra was invented, we already had it here.
We've got to have a look at this.
All right, let's ask him if he has it. All right, Dave. So this is what it looks like. This is Indian Viagra.
Looks like hash oil.
Yep. Do you want to take some home?
No.
Sure.
Yes.
It's potent.
Last thing we need on a motorbike at the moment.
Is a bonus.
The road of bonus. We know the name of the movie now, Mugget. The road of bonus. The road of bonus. You just showed me the Indian Viagra. That's it.
Rohtang Pass was a milestone. Due to its altitude, it prevented rain-producing weather systems heading further north. The lush green of our journey so far would be replaced with a barren desert beauty.
So we've just crossed across Rohtang, come into the next valley here. Now this area is called Lahaul and Spiti, and you can see it's now starting to get a mountain desert because the rain doesn't come across Rohtang. They've also got a checkpoint here. We've got to get our bike's numbers just registered here before we move on.
Within a matter of kilometres, the landscape took on a completely different appearance, and its enormity was initially hard to comprehend. Rotang Pass was also the dividing line between dominant cultures and beliefs. We were no longer protected by the Hindu goddess Kali Mata. Our fate was now in the hands of Buddha.
4,850 metres.
66 is quite low.
Normal blood oxygen saturation is around 95% or higher at sea level. At this pass, our levels were way below that, hovering around 70%. In planning this trip, I had always felt we had not given ourselves sufficient time to acclimatise, and we would pay a penalty, the least of which would be headaches, muddled thinking, clumsiness and nausea. At worst, fluid on the heart, and on rare occasions, death.
How's the riding today, Ash?
Oh, brilliant. I love going back to the mountains. There's just something so calming about riding out here. It's just...
You eating that nugget? Dal and rice?
We've got a bit of dal, some rice, a good Indian dish, and we've got some gulay here. It's called sabji. Sabji gulay, I call it.
So, Nugget, how'd you go? First night in your cubby house? At 4,000 something metres.
I took my first altitude tablet last night and it turned my bladder into a 75-year-old man's. I've been peeing every 45 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah.
In and out, in and out, in and out. Terrible night, so.
Alright. Julie. Thank you.
It was very good. Loved it. Fantastic. Ginny. Hey, Nosh, how's the Himalayan going?
The Himalayan, it's comfy. It's my third bike in a week. I seem to be going through them.
I find it incredible that we can't find a decent hill in the Himalayas to actually get this bike running.
There are going to be 3 passes we're going to cross today. First one, 4740 meters, Nakila Pass. Second one's a bit higher, La Chungla at 5,000. This is the next pass, 5,200 meters. That is the second highest pass on this road in the world, actually. If we make it past that one, we'll try to stay somewhere up here in Upshi or Karu. These are small villages before the main district capital, that's Leh.
We had stayed at the small township of Sa Chu, about 300 kilometres west of the Chinese border. A kind Tibetan family had taken us in for the night, and we were rested and ready to go. The Tibetan flag of independence flew proudly in this settlement. Although I had previously ridden extensively in Tibet, China, I had never before seen this flag flying free and proud. In the coming days, we would cross some of the highest passes in the world, and the stunning mountain desert scenery would be permanently etched in our minds. Over the years, motorcycle adventure had done so much to enrich our lives. I was right here, right now, in some of the most spectacular mountain desert scenery I had seen in my life, because of a chance meeting with Nosh in the forests of Australia. The determination to turn an idea into reality had rewarded us all. We were in far northern India on a trip of a lifetime, witnessing for ourselves this very special place. The grandeur of this giant landscape had lifted our spirits, and this day would be forever remembered as one of the most exhilarating rides on a motorcycle I had experienced in my life. Nosh's bike decided it wanted to take in the view a little while longer.
The bike is cut off completely. Thought it was the fuel, refueled from the tanks that we had, but it's not the fuel. Let's see what it is. If we can jump start it, we might be right.
We would stay overnight in the village of Pung, located in a valley floor at an altitude of close to 15,000 feet.
Oh, you got some ice on your seat, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly last night here, that's for sure.
Bit uncomfortable sleeping last night, Nugget.
Yeah, well, we're at 4,500 metres and it's about 16,000 feet. So we're pretty high up. It's not recommended to sleep at this height, but we really had no option. Yeah, short of breath and yeah, I was breathing heavy, bit of anxiety. So yeah, it can affect you.
Come on, little Enfield. You're made for the Himalayas. So Nugget, the bloody Enfield didn't want to start, so here we go.
We're going to see if the old Baja is going to start. If it knows what's good for it, I wouldn't. You've given it 7 days of hell so far.
I haven't done it that. Here we go.
Have you got the...
Burns like a kitten.
This goes in the Himalayas.
The carby on Nugget's bike was not liking the altitude, but it didn't matter. This was a special place. With the ice shaken from our bikes, beneath a stunning blue sky, we headed to the spectacular Moray Plains.
Up we come.
We were on our way to Leh, an ancient city of trade, a Silk Road city with a history of harmonious religious diversity, where Buddhist, Islam and Sikh religions have practiced side by side for 1,000 years. But right now, we were soaking in the magnificent grandeur of the Moray Plains. This Sarchu Pang region of the Himalayas would be forever etched in my mind as some of the most outstanding adventure motorcycling in the world. There is no better feeling than riding across the Moray Plains with your mates on motorcycles. Life simply can't get any better than this.
So we're just taking the oxygen levels of the locals compared to us.
Oxygen.
Just
Look at
normal.
that, at heart rate 73.
Just normal.
She's got the same oxygen levels as us.
And
but
climbing.
71, 70.
Our heart rates are 90 and hers is 71.
It's perfect.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Get a picture of mine with her, please. एक फोटो आपके साथ. Thank you.
What is her name?
आपका नाम क्या है? Chujji Dorma. Ashish, where did you put?
She's really fit. She's fitter than any of the younger people here, and she's fitter than any of us.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. She's 76.
Yeah.
Our next focus was crossing the second highest motorable pass in the world, Taglung La. Road and weather conditions were excellent as we climbed to the top of the pass at 17,480 feet. Tibetan prayer flags or lungta bless this stunning landscape. The flags are used to promote peace, compassion, strength and wisdom. The colours represent the 5 pure lights: sky and space, air, fire, water and earth. The air is purified by the movement of the flags. Exposed to the elements, the flags fade and are replaced by new flags, representing new life. The valley below would surprise us with a feast of stunning geological formations. Another stunning day's ride was coming to an end, and I asked myself, could it get any better than this? We descend off the Moray Plains into the ancient Silk Road city of Leh. It was a relief to be at lower altitudes, and we slept like babies. Leh had been the capital of the Himalayan kingdom of Ladakh and is dominated by the 9-storey high 17th century Leh Palace. But its history stretches back many centuries, as it was an important stopover between Chinese and Indian traders, with trade routes converging from all directions of the compass. The main goods being traded were salt, grain, cashmere, wool, cannabis resin, indigo and silk. One of the most surprising things about this ancient city is that people belonging to many different religions have cohabited peacefully, and there are no records of any conflict. Buddhists next to Muslims, next to Sikhs, Hindus and Christians. They have all lived side by side peacefully for close to 1,000 years.
We're off the bikes.
We're off the bikes, trying to stretch you guys a little bit. Haven't seen a bunch of lazier bikers who wouldn't want to walk 3 steps away from their bikes. So we're going up to this monastery called Gozang.
And that's it there?
Nah.
No. Right. It's up a bit higher, is it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, all the rocks with prayers on them. Carved into them. Beautifully carved. Nosh has set us this task to get to this monastery. It's very significant. I'd want to be around 4,000 metres, and taking every step is quite breathtaking.
This better be worth it, Nosh.
But interestingly, here is where the lamas come for their 3 months, 4 months, 6 months solitary retreats, and they meditate here for however long they've been instructed for by the head lamas.
We were very fortunate to meet a friendly junior lama who loved motorbikes and was keen to show us around the monastery and have a cup of tea with us and a chat.
This is very high, very high.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. No problem. No headache.
No. No. Good. Good. Yes. Yeah. It's a handmade lock and handmade key. Years old.
At least. We are 4, but one more is not come. So you have seen his picture?
Oh, she's Big Show. Look like Big Show. Better man.
हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हैं मोटा.
वो बहुत मोटा है ना. देखने से वो बिग शो जैसा दिखता है. Pulsar छोटा है ना. Pulsar is small.
Yes.
Small bike. You big. No problem.
No problem. She's good.
You are looking like infield. Infield is good.
Infield.
Enfield, yeah.
Yes.
My Enfield, Royal Enfield.
Yes.
Bullet.
But Bajaj. I like my Bajaj. He's good.
Pulsar is small. An accident with this one going down. Yes.
So Nugget, we went up to this monastery. It's about a 1200-year-old monastery. We met this junior lama. He's been there for 6 years meditating there, and very keen to know where we were from, so I showed him a couple of pictures, and guess whom he zoomed in on?
Me.
Yep, that's right. So he's got a message for you. Have a look at it.
ठीक है तो okay. हम लोग we have 4, but one more is not come. So you have seen his picture.
Oh, she's Big Show. Looks like Big Show.
Big Show.
Better man.
हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हैं मोटा.
वो बहुत मोटा है ना. वो Big Show जैसा दिखता है.
He's calling me fat.
He is. Yeah, this junior lama in a 1,200-year-old monastery is calling you a fatty.
He called me a fatty. Buddha. That's one word I picked up here. I've heard it a bit.
We later discovered the junior lama was in fact being complimentary. Big Show was an American professional wrestler and 7-time world champion. He is also an actor who had roles in Star Trek Enterprise and The Waterboy. Our junior lama had a knowledge of the world that surprised us.
So after a couple of days of rest here in Leh, we're going to head up the highest motorable road in the world. That's up here, Khardungla at 5,600 meters. We come down that pass, and on the other side we turn right along the Shayok river, and we'll just keep going around the river. The road here turns into a trail, and the trail will lead us all the way and drop us onto the main road here at Dirtbike. There's a very famous Ladakhi saying that our lands are so barren and our passes so high that only the best of friends and the fiercest of enemies come to visit us.
On our way to Khardungla.
At 18,400 feet, Khardungla may be the highest motorable pass in the world, but it's not that hard to get to, unless of course you take a shortcut on a 200cc road bike.
The sun, casting all the shadows down, makes us so our little town don't feel so small. We come together, a stampede, stomping.
Cracking weather, spectacular views, there was excitement in the air. We were heading to the border frontiers between the two most populated countries in the world. The Nubra Valley represented our next phase of adventure. But while we were having the time of our lives, the world of the road repairers was the very opposite. We could see they were doing it tough, but we just didn't realise how tough they were doing it until we stopped for a chat.
Workers are coming down off the mountain for their lunch.
6 months of the year they are here, basically making this road stone by stone. You can see him there laying this road stone by stone. So
where are they from, though?
These guys are from a state called Jharkhand. I was born in a town in the same state. They paid 20,000 rupees for 6 months.
Which is
$500. Ridiculous, isn't it? The way this thing works is there's a middleman who makes way more money than these guys do, and it's pretty much mafia controlled. So all of these guys will be from this same state. The supplier for the labor makes most money. Thank you, yaar. आप लोगों की वजह से
The Nubra Valley was a breathtaking entree to the main event, the Shayok River Valley.
Have a look down there. We're going to follow that river right up.
The Shayok River is a tributary of the mighty Indus River, one of the longest rivers in Asia that flows through China, India and Pakistan and empties into the Arabian Sea. During the snowmelt, this entire valley is filled with life-giving water that feeds millions along its journey. Any paved road on the valley floor is at the mercy of the spring snow melt, and track conditions varied significantly. I have never seen nor had the privilege of riding in such a beautiful, majestic landscape, and the warm glow of the setting sun simply added to that experience.
But hey, look at this country.
Well, we're riding a little bit later into the afternoon than we thought.
As you can see, this is Shayok town. This gentleman over here, he's offered us a place to stay and he's going to cook some humble food for us and we should be sorted for the night.
This is good.
Oh, beautiful room. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice, we're living like kings.
Yep. Kings on Dal.
On Dal. Oh, thank you. Oh, God, what was that? You can't have a bike movie without a fart in it. Oops. Nugget, this is pretty cool, isn't it? Our host is going to take us to the back road into China.
Show us the route to China. Nobody knows about.
Oh no, it's a cracker.
Yeah, well, let's get on it.
All right, let's go.
So our host is taking us to this trail that goes right to the Chinese border. The only people you'll find up there are Indian military and Chinese military on the other side. But you know, these are the sorts of things you discover when you stay in those out of the way places and meet the villages and listen to the people and listen to their stories. This to me, this is the epitome of adventure. This is what I just love doing. The size of the bike is irrelevant. The type of gear you got's irrelevant. What's relevant is discovering things about the world that you never knew, gaining insights that others just don't have, and it's a great privilege, and that's what gets me coming back to adventure riding all the time.
Now, there's one little problem our host forgot to tell us about to get to this secret track, and that is there's a checkpoint down there where only Indian nationals are allowed through. And excludes foreigners, so Ash is on his way to China. And before him is the world's highest suspension bridge. May not look much, Nugget, but hey, it's a first. Is that him going across now? Oh yeah, I can see him.
Hey, welcome! Wow!
Hi.
Hey! World's highest suspension bridge.
So when I was speaking with the guy down there,
The border police, yeah?
the border, yeah, the army guy, he said there's quite a few troops up at the border there, and I asked him sort of, is there any problems there? He said, no, there's no problems, but in Hindi he said, thappad thuppad mukka mukki chalte rehti hai, which means there's minor exchange of fire going on every day.
Oh, that's
So-
amazing.
That's his way of casually putting it.
I'm kind of glad we didn't get up that road, Nosh.
No, I think so as well. I don't think we'd be allowed any further than what we were anyways.
Our first interaction with Border Patrol had gone well, and we had been rewarded with Ash getting very temporary access to the highest suspension bridge in the world. For the remainder of the day, we would be close to the border frontier, where tensions between China and India result in the occasional push and shove. Our goal for the day was reaching the stunning Lake Pangong that extends from India into China. Pangong is a skinny lake, 134 kilometres long, and at its widest, just 5 kilometres.
On the right hand side of that river, on the opposite side of the road,
Yeah.
there's like a walking track. It's about 2 foot wide, and It's all been rocked up. It looks like the old Silk Road.
We go and have a look at it?
Yeah, let's go back, man. It's amazing. The Indian fella back where we stayed gave us a tip, and he said, if you keep your eye out on the side of the river, you'll see the old Silk Road where the traders used to walk through centuries ago. And I reckon I've spotted it. If you can see the rock formations up here, starts over here down low to the river base, follows its way all the way up. Look how it goes up around that rock up there. It's near vertical, and they built it with little rocks and all held into place. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
What?
Yeah.
Just think, people have been walking up that for centuries, trading. Section still in place, just shows how good craftsmen they were.
Lake Pangong is a sensitive border frontier, and as late as August 2017, there had been some push and shove between Indian and Chinese soldiers. A huge, beautiful silk flag flies proudly on the shores of the lake, reassurance that we were in India, and a powerful statement to their neighbours across the lake that they weren't going anywhere. The crystal clear blue water of the lake starkly contrasts with the barren and rugged mountains that surround it. It is a special place that attracts Indian couples to announce their love and commitment for one another. The pebbles on the edge of the lake are flat and round and make for an excellent location for the world's rock skipping championships.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
Come on, you got to get 24.
24. I couldn't even do that when I was 12.
Here, nice, just grab this camera.
I'm worried about you throwing your shoulder out. You've been complaining about your back now for a few days.
I'm going to skip this for you.
All right, don't throw your back out.
And if I don't get 5 skips out of this,
You'll swim in it.
I will jump in there in my underpants.
Okay.
Okay, 5.
Get your gear off, princess.
Holy shit. Like, oh,
In you go.
Oh, no, you can't be serious, Nugget.
You ready? Hey, come in with my clothes! Lake Pangong is very important to me. 4 years ago, on the other side, on the China side, I crossed, when I was going from London to Sydney, we went round the outskirts of the lake on road G219. And now I'm on the India side. And, you know, if it wasn't for Nosh and Ash, you know, Nugget and I probably wouldn't be here. And it's a real privilege to come on the other side. Put a lot of effort to get here, but it was more than worth it. But I'll never ever gamble again about skipping stones.
It was now time to head for home. Over these few short weeks, our experiences and exposure to a tough environment had changed our bodies and our minds. We were now acclimatised to high altitude and no longer suffered headaches or nausea. And we had learnt to confidently overtake trucks in circumstances we would have previously found just plain bloody crazy. We had traversed the highest and third highest motorable passes in the world, and by the end of this day, we would have completed the top 3. Our return to the village of Sachu and a chance meeting with some Indian bikers made me realise the cultural significance of our adventure.
Every biker has a dream that he has to go to Leh once in his lifetime.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that is what we did.
This was a journey etched in the hearts of bikers from all over India, a ride that they must undertake during their lifetime. This little village of Sachu had one more surprise that saddened me in one sense, but in another way confirmed what we are seeing all over the world. The changing climate is affecting people in their lives, and in some areas, such as Sachu, those effects were more than I could ever imagine.
He says his village is deserted, nobody lives there any longer. because there's no water for farming, because there's no snow. कितना साल हो गया ये पानी says it's about 15 to 20 years now that the entire village has had to move because there's no water, because there's no snow. The entire village has had to move
To survive.
to survive. Yeah. There's no farming, there's no nothing in the old village, so it's deserted. They've just left. They've come up here. He says every year the snow here is getting lesser and lesser as well. Proof of global warming.
It's fair to say that Nugget and I were starting to get homesick. We were hanging out for a big, thick, juicy T-bone steak and some Aussie culture. When we arrived back in Manali, I was poking through Ash's iTunes when I found just what we needed.
Some good Aussie rock.
Ash has lifted in my books and he's got this song in there.
The head nodding of our Indian friends made it clear that cultural boundaries could be smashed with a bit of akadaka. And whilst we longed for home, we appreciated that Ashish and Nosh's generosity to show us their India had given us a unique and special view of this magnificent country. They had taken us into their home and made us feel like part of their family. For the entire time I was in this country, I felt alive, and our trip had cemented one thing in our minds: we were coming back. When it came to adventure, India had delivered.